Welcome to the second round this weekend, the third round of the season for the historic Formula Ford Championship. On the front row then we will have Tiff Nadell and Ben Sims. Tiff Nadell, the guest driver of course. The second row is novice driver Michael O'Brien and Max Bartell. Third row Stuart Baird and Brian Morris. Fourth row James Buckton and Pitty Kaveri. The grid being set by the race results from yesterday. Dan Stans will be one person that doesn't finish. He caused a red flag yesterday, so just 19 cars and make that 18, because into the pit lane comes Max Bartell. Now is he going to start from the pit? So in fact, let's see. No, Bartell pointing towards the paddock. Problems there on the formation lap for Bartell. One of the championship contenders this season, involved in an incident with Tiff Nadell yesterday. Not sure what the problems are for Bartell. He won't be starting, so it's Nadell versus Sims. This is the Lotus and the Jomo there on the front row. Max Bartell not there on the second row, so just Michael O'Brien there. So we'll wait for the red lights here at Thruxton to go on. There you have, and they're off, and it's a great start once again from Ben Sims, like it was yesterday. Damp out there today after the rain this morning, and it's Ben Sims the lead from Tiff Nadell. The pair of them starting to break away already from the third place car. That is Michael O'Brien. Stuart Baird, who's been made good starts in the first two rounds of this championship, he's lost out. Possibly for Brian Morris, couldn't quite tell who had taken that fourth position. We're going right on board for the first time this season with Dick Dixon. He's trying to make a move around the outside of the 76 car, which is Gary McVie. I think he's got himself ahead of the Merlin Mark 11. Dixon at the wheel of the Lotus 61. Puts the power on now. Very slippery now. Round the back it will be. First time the drivers experience this circuit in these conditions this weekend. So they may be just taking a bit cautious on this first lap. Ben Sims at the front. Expect him and Tiff Nadell not to take it quite as cautious maybe as the rest of the field. Very experienced drivers they are. Michael O'Brien trying to go with them. It's Sims with Nadell right in his wheel tracks as they cross the line. The Jomo lead in by the slenderest of margins. That is 0.28 of a second that Sims leads by to Nadell. You can see the gap they've got over the rest of the field is quite large. We've had a spinner out of the chicane. Yellow flags waving, green flags on the exit, and hopefully that car will rejoin and we'll be able to work out who it is who has spun. It's 17, it's Brian Morris. He was a spinner at Donington Park in the early stages, and he clawed his way through the back through the pack wonderfully. So I think got another one of those here. Third round of the series taking place here around the very fast Thruxton circuit. Dick Dixon well involved in the battles in the middle of the pack. So we head out of the complex then on this second lap of the race, and we've got a spinner. Now who could that be? I think that might have been Andrew Wiggins who's gone for a spin. He was going well after that first lap. Yes, he was. Just counting down our time speed here. 8th position was Wiggins in the Titan. So he was going extremely well in these difficult conditions. So they span out to the complex. So here drop to the back. Here the onboard camera track's not quite flat out in these conditions. Sims versus Nadell, because the pair of them are getting away now from Michael O'Brien. The novice driver not quite able to go with the two experienced drivers at the front. And you can see though, O'Brien with a huge gap back to the fourth place car Pitty Kaveri, and then it's James Buckton in 5th. He's moved ahead of the 6th car of Stuart Baird on this lap. Then in 7th, that looks like Roland Svensson ahead of Dan Pickett. They're in 8th. Then 9th, that's Nick Ball. 10th is Kevin Stats, just ahead of Andrew Mansell. So this is a battle to get inside the top 10. It stands in front at the moment in the Merlin Mark 20. Mansell, Mark 11A, and he's right at the back of him. And we had another spin. And there's another spin for Andrew Wiggins. He's had 2 spins on this lap. Now he's got to get it turned round. And he does so. And now he's definitely going to be right at the back of the field. Long way behind the rest. He's still going. And we go back and forward with Dick Dixon then, providing us plenty of action from his onboard camera. Now who are we chasing after? That I think should be the 81 car, James Lovett. the Lola. Heading through Noble, the very fast left-hander. To be delicate on the steering wheel in these conditions. Now I think could have had a change there, because Kevin Stans falling down the field. And Andrew Mansell moved up into 10th. I think going with him is Lovett. So that Stans right in front of us. Yes it is. So we head around the outside of him, possibly through Church Corner. Can't get it done. Sit back in the slipstream and head down to the chicane. Long run here, and the Lotus Dixon not quite seem to have straight line speed, it seems. Heading down towards the chicane. Yes, you can see the gap that's been opened up. Turn our way through now then. Gently putting the power back on. Dick Dixon under quite a bit of pressure from Alex Meek. You can see on our timing screen, just 2 seconds ahead of Meek he is. And they're going to have to watch out because Brian Morris only 3 seconds behind. He's lapping 4 seconds quicker, so it shouldn't take too long for Morris to come through past this battle then. We head through the complex. Not to touch any of those curbs. Very slippery if you hit any of those. Out the complex again. Heading out towards Noble. We can move on board though with our race leader. It's Ben Sims. He's not the race leader anymore. Tiff Nadell up on the inside. So the Lotus goes to the front then ahead of the Jomo. So now the chicane. Sims with a big slide on there. Got into the right hander, then slid out of that, and now across the line then. So it's Tiff Nadell that leads for the first time in this race, just by 0.3 seconds to Ben Sims, as they now turn their way through Allards. Nadell drifts the car through there. Tiff Nadell, the driving instructor here at Thruxton. He should know his way around here in all types of conditions. And now on the brakes, into the complex. Not too far away from Lappery now, because of course there's a few spinners, but you wouldn't expect Lappery quite this early in the race. And Ben Sims is drifting the Jomo around this Thruxton circuit. And he does it again. There's not many places by the looks of it that Sims isn't sliding the car around. Perhaps Nadell making the most of that, trying to pull away, but through Noble corner, Ben Sims carrying a huge amount more speed than Tiff Nadell. Tiff Nadell definitely backed off through there. And Sims keeping his foot planted to the floor as he slides his way around the circuit. See the confidence that Sims has in the Jomo. Maybe Tiff Nadell not racing that Lotus quite as much as Sims does the Jomo. Just a touch forced it locked through Churcher. But as I was saying, Nadell not quite racing this car quite as much as Sims does. Not quite the confidence in these conditions to go sideways as Sims does. Sims, they're using the slipstream, moves ahead of Tiff Nadell, then heading into the braking zone. Oh, he slides out wide though. Sims almost off the road there. He stays on just about, but an awkward line through the chicane as he slides his way out. Now is that going to allow Nadell back in front as they head down towards Allard corner then? Yes, Nadell just nosing in front as they head now into the right hand, the fast right hander at Allard, and that does allow Nadell to go back to the front then. Perhaps Sims just ever so slightly later on the brakes than he should have been. But he's not taking long before attacking Nadell again as they head down towards the complex. Nadell staying just in front. The 5th gear presenter leads the way then. Ex-Formula 1 driver, ex-touring car racer. Tiff Nadell leads. Ben Sims in second, completely crossed up, heading through the middle of the complex there. That's allowed Nadell just to put out a car length or two. They now head down towards Noble. This is where Ben Sims was so fast last time. What can he do this time round? Again, carrying a lot more speed than Tiff Nadell. Then he slides the car out the corner. Getting into the right-hander. Oh, and now Nadell pushing harder. He's sliding. Slid out a bit wide there, though. So now Sims sitting almost right underneath the gearbox of Nadell. Church corner next. Just a bit of a lift there, you could hear. Oh, Sims not quite hitting the apex as much as Nadell does. Nadell car slaps in the middle of the circuit, in the middle of the corner I should say, but he managed to hold on to it. He stays in front, but now Sims using the slipstream, the spray being kicked up from the Lotus there. Nadell goes tight, he's on the inside, there's bound markers up the road. There's 3 of them heading into chicane. Oh, and one of them spins. That could have been Gary McVie. So green flags on the exit of the corner, so now we go through ahead of Julian Pearce. Sims has got them done, he leads the way then. We've got Andrew Wiggins next, he's going to catch him in the middle of Allard. He just about sees in time. A bit further back in the field, this is where Brian Morris is making his way through the field. That's a 20 car just up in front. And that's Kevin Stans, he's trying to make his way ahead of. Round the outside, Dick Dixon just behind the pair of them. And through the head goes Brian Morris then. More battles. This is Dan Pickett up on the inside of Roland Svensson. It goes ahead as they head their way through Allard. They sit just behind Nicholas Ball. It's a battle for 7th, 8th and 9th. Border Dixon then. Behind Stans, Kevin Stans. Tippy toe through the complex. See how much more committed Tiff Nadell and Ben Sims were through this part of the circuit. The confidence they have in their cars. Good battles here though. A bit further down. Hey, Kevin Stans just ahead of Dick Dixon, the Merlin Mark 20. Just ahead of the Lotus 61 now that makes its move up on the inside to go ahead of Stans. Dick Dixon gets the move done then. Regains a position. Side by side between the leaders, Tiff Nadell fighting back to get ahead of Ben Sims possibly. No, Sims carrying the speed round the outside to stay in front. There's more traffic to be done. They go either side then. Oh, Sims on the grass there, on the grass verge. As he moves ahead of the back marker. Dick Dixon, he's going to have the leaders all over them any second. There goes Sims. Nadell fights his way around the outside as well. The instant zone from yesterday. Let's have a look at this. Slow motion replay on board with Ben Sims. There we go. Complete opposite lock. Flat out. Great shot there. And Nadell in back markers there. Waving his arms. Who was that he was trying to get ahead of? Possibly Julian Pearce. But now is that allowed? Yes, Ben Sims to get away, making the most of the traffic. So, now can Sims keep that gap to Nadell? Nadell perhaps falling off the slipstream now. That can make a big difference in the remainder of this race. Look how much later they are on the back markers. That's another replay. That was Sims. Make it. That's how Sims has got this lead so much later on the brakes. And it's Ben Sims then that tosses the checkered flag to take the victory. Tiff Nadell seemed to be pretty happy with that, even with his second place, 2.5 seconds off. But that move, late on the brakes from Ben Sims, is what won it for him. He got ahead of the back markers, head of the chicane. Tiff Nadell wasn't able to do so. Third position, well, that went to Michael O'Brien. We didn't really see much of him in that race. 38 seconds off the 2 leaders. That is quite some margin. So the rest of the field come through to take the checking flag. 6 cars finished on the lead lap. James Buckton, Petty Kaveri, Stuart Baird all stayed on that lead lap. And James Buckton actually had a good second part of that race, moving himself up into the top 4 position. Here he comes then out of the chicane to take that 4th position, and then Kaveri and Baird 5th and 6th. Not too much of a gap between the pair of them. They pass the checkered flag there. We get the full list of results just a moment. There you go then. It was Ben Sims that took that win then by 2.7 seconds. Sims also for second, the fastest lap. 95.6 second lap. That's 88 miles per hour average speed on this very damp Thruxton circuit. Top 10 then, they were completed by Brian Morris. Remember, he had that spin on lap 1, recovering to 7th. Good effort from him again. Nick Ball came home in 8th, ahead of Andrew Mansell and Daniel Pickett. Kevin Stan seemed to struggle in the damp conditions. He dropped down to 14th. Andrew Wiggins, who had that good first lap, he recovered to 15th after his spin. It's that man there, Ben Sims. 2 wins this season and a second only to Tiff Nadell, who's guesting this weekend. It's looking like a strong year for Sims. Tiff Nadell certainly enjoyed himself this weekend with historic Formula Ford and showing you how quick these front runners are to go toe to toe with an ex-Formula 1 driver. And in the damp, Ben Sims taking that Jomo to victory. Great effort from him. Next time out, 4 weeks time, we head to Silverstone on the Grand Prix circuit for the International Trophy meeting. It should be another cracker on there. The longest circuit of the season. That man there, Michael O'Brien, novice driver, has really impressed this season already, and right at the front in best dry conditions. Pole position yesterday by over half a second. It's going to be one to beat, I think, as we head to Silverstone.
And this is the last award, and it's called the Furious Fettler Award. And for those people who speak English, you know what fettling means? Yes, right. It is for the guy who spends most time keeping his car. Yeah. And we're about to present 13 with the award, as you can keep until the end of the season. Congratulations, thank you. No. I had to go work on my car. See you on the Silverstone. Anybody with